Hey guys, I just wanted to mention something about collective readings. And I want you to picture that there are 1,000 divine masculines, for example, that are all learning and growing, and they know who this person is that they love, but they're, scared, and they're developing, and they're maturing, and they're getting over addictions, and they're, going through their whole twin flame process prior to being able to come into a relationship, which is, union. When readers do these readings online and they're tapping into the collective, there are different factors. So there's the factor of like energy. So the reader could be reading into a particular group of people that are like resonating with her own path. She could be picking up on, depending on her intention or even the energies that she's been interacting with lately. I mean, there's so many different factors there. But also keep in mind that if there are like 1,000 divine masculines at one given time that are in separation, because the ones that are reading these or watching these collective readings, they're in separation, or they wouldn't be wanting to know what's going on with the divine masculine, right? So these people are in separation. And if you take that group of 1,000 divine masculines that are currently like in separation, and you take away 20 of those guys who have come into union with their partners or are currently like trying to make it work out, and once they get into that process, they go into a whole other kind of a phase. So they kind of drop out of that collective energy. So then you've got, what is that, 1,800? No, that would be like 200. Anyway, then the energy shifts a bit. So if you're watching these readings and they seem super exciting, and then it's like bloom, and it comes back down to like, oh, they're really working on themselves. It's like, really? Again? They were just on the verge of like doing something, It's because those like 20 were really at the top of that tier in a way, and the 20 spilled over. So then there's the rest, that are still mulling things over and having to do all this. So just want to warn you guys to sort of anticipate that there could be like a lot of unions coming up in the middle of March, toward the end of March. And as that happens, you might see in April a drop again. You might see things going back to, they might sound a little bit more discouraging, or that he's really trying to overcome his insecurity still, and he's trying to this and that and the other thing. So even though the cards look absolutely incredible at this time, the masculines that are about to reach out to their feminines, that's what they're feeling into right now. There's a lot of buildup for these men who are really coming into their power, about to take the lead and do something about the situation. So that's why the fluctuation, and it's not, the readers are not trying to mislead you. They're not trying to give you false hope or anything like that. They're trying to also kind of help you build your faith, and hopefully you're listening to readers who are helping you also kind of grow yourself and your understanding, and in your patience, and in your knowledge of what's going on behind the scenes, because that's really what it's about when you're watching these readings. It's not like, when's he going to come? You shouldn't be in that place of, when's he going to come? I mean, we're always going to wonder, when's he going to come? Because it's exciting, but at the same time, it's like, it's really essentially all about our development. And how are we dealing with the patience? How are we dealing with the resentment? And how are we dealing with any of the past regrets and disappointments and everything else that comes up? It's really about the growth process. It's not about coming into a relationship. Also keeping in mind that I've seen people come together too early, too soon, and when they weren't ready, and they end up in separation anyway. So you want to try to be I know of a twin flame couple that are not in union yet, but they may as well be, because they've communicated how incredible and intense their love is for each other. But they are deciding to live in separate places and grow themselves. He's working on himself and his own maturing process, and he's, gotten over some addictions and things like that, and he's really building himself up and showing himself a lot of self-love. And she is like building her business and becoming this total empress in what she's doing, and she's getting into her power. So both of them they know that they are each other's love, and that they will ultimately be together. and how incredible that they're talking openly about this process. But they know they're going to eventually like be in union. But I think that's kind of ideal to have that mature of a connection with your partner, where you guys can just be on the same page about it. Whether you're coming together at this time or not doesn't really matter. But for those of you who are still pretty much like you'll be depressed one day because he's not showing up, and the next day you're super happy because you heard some really great reading, you're still in the really pretty codependent energy. And you're probably not going to be coming into union, or if you do, it might be premature yet, because I really do feel that twin flame relationships or true love relationships, they cannot maintain unless both people are mature enough to take personal responsibility. So they, so just having said that, there are a lot of different factors that go into these readings. So just keep that in mind when you're watching these. And they, also one thing that the readers are tuning into is those who will be watching the videos. That's what I do. I have the intention of being able to help whoever's going to be watching, my people, so that doesn't include thousands of other people who are watching other readings too. So anyway, things change and flux, and that's why don't get discouraged. Keep a positive attitude, because no matter what, even if it's not your twin flame you're going to be with, say it's like a soul flame or something, or some other option, or soulmate, they are going to be attracted to you when you're in your happiest, when you can fulfill your own needs, when you can take care of yourself, when you're like independent and flying high and doing really great, and you know how to maintain your own happiness and satisfaction with life despite any circumstances. Then that's when you're attracting the best possible partner for you. If you're in that codependent, needy feeling, if you're in that desperately needing confirmation and all that type of energy, then you could very well attract a karmic person again. Although most of you are really steadfast in who you want to be with, and you guys you're abstaining from sex. Oh, also on that note, I thought I'd put a warning out there too, that this is an incredibly fertile time right now for everything. It's new beginnings for everything. So a lot of people, yes, they're coming into union, but also be careful and use protection, because people are getting pregnant. So birth of new things all across the board. Birth of new circumstances, birth of new jobs, birth of new ideas, birth of new businesses. So many births happening right now. So if you don't want a baby, be real careful. Anyway, I guess that's enough for today. I just wanted to say that about readings in general, and about this energy at this time, and also kind of get you prepared. If you don't come into union at this time, then you'll be on the next wave, or there'll be, yours will happen when it happens. It's all divinely timed. So trust in that process and learn to let go. We've all been on this journey for however long we've been on it. And I kind of laugh when somebody says, it's been months since he's talked to me. I'm just like, months? Oh my gosh, I talk to people where it's been years, sometimes even 30, 20 years. It's like, oh my gosh. So anyway, we're all in this together, and we just need to help each other stay positive. And when you see it, just as with anything else, when you start to see it around you, it's about to happen to you. So don't get jealous. Get happy for everybody that it's happening to and for. All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you next time. Bye.